So in the first 15k, I've done 480 metres of climbing.
Uppercut, punches got 'em busting up. Potion in this double cup, liquor got 'em buttered up. Yeah, not my competition. Every track is like I got bubble guts. Fast life, buckle up. Yeah, turn an angel.
So it is currently 8:33. So it took me about 1 hour and 50 minutes to get here. And honestly, probably the longest 1 hour and 50 minutes drive I've ever done. Probably because at least the second half of it was just on like roads instead of motorway. So normally if I ever do a journey that long, most of it is on the motorway, but not this one. Put the bike together, and then I don't really want to be sat here chatting for too long and dawdling around. I ain't in no rush, but actually I might put a 30k effort in the middle of it. My long ride and my threshold session together, that is what I'll probably do. It is the most elevation I'm ever going to do in a ride, so that could be interesting, and I'll talk a bit more about the name of the route in a little minute.
I'm booked for life, catch me if you can. I'm booked for life, catch me if you can. Yeah, hey, yeah. 100 grand popping out a rubber band. Never let them get the upper hand.
So I've just acquired my first ever subscriber from somebody asking me, what, have you got many followers? I said, nah, not really. And it just proves to me that, like, if people see a tripod, they're always going to think, oh, what an idiot, he's making videos. Like, I'm glad it's happened, really, because it just proves that everything you think when you're filming yourself doesn't actually happen. So enough waffling. I'm going to get on that and start pedalling. Right then, I am off. So I've got 81 kilometres up ahead of me and 1,005 metres of elevation gain, and literally, I don't know, 3 minutes into the ride I'm facing a nice hill. But I think the route is called something like Gospel something and Black Mountains. So what did I expect? I've got a feeling this might be a difficult day out on the bike, and I might include like a 20k effort at some point, because I'm going to try and merge both my rides together, so I haven't got to do one tomorrow. Let's go. Look at that, straight away. It's even just said to me, reaching steep incline. So, oh yes, this is going to be a brutal day out. I can already sense it. I love a challenge. I'm a bit of a sicko, bit of an idiot. I am pretty sure that I've heard on SAS Who Dares Wins that this is where the army, or like the Royal Marines, or the SAS trains, and I can see why. Oh my god, I am in hurt today. I'm not going to mention any of that stuff that begins with R and falls from the sky, but look at that. This is mental. I've literally rode 5k. I've already had to stop to take a picture. I've never been anywhere like this in my whole life. Like, there's nothing.
need relief, bro, we building a team. Everybody got a niche. I've been known to play mine to a T, but it's time for me to lead, picking dirt right out the cleats. Steep path, roadblocks in the streets, trying to knock me off my feet, cause the devil never sleeps. So I don't sleep too, and trying to breach safes that I didn't have the keys to. We all been victims of trauma we ain't agreed to, but the sun comes after, starting up a new chapter.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back and focus on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Isn't it lovely?
If one of these sheep turns around, I'm fucked. So in the first 15k I've done 480 metres of climbing, and I also, luckily, my back brake started to squeak because one of the brake pads was constantly touching it. So I'm glad I found that out, and I've adjusted it a little bit, so obviously it's not rubbing anymore. That could have been a little bit disheartening if it didn't start squeaking. I just don't know the word to describe this. K down, 60 to go. I've had to put my gloves back on and my snood thing, because doing all that climbing at the start of the ride got me sweating. I even undone my top a little bit, and now going back down, whew, it's a little bit windy, but luckily I'm kind of enclosed by these bushes and trees, and that. I'm glad they're here, because otherwise I'll be battling with my old friend wind again. I've got to keep reminding myself to just like, not stop and take it in, but just look around. Big boy horses. I do feel like though sometimes Robin Hood's going to jump out there and shoot with a bow and arrow. I don't know my best bet here. Hopefully these ain't stuck together. Ah, nice. Sorted. Garage then is like the first thing with people in, apart from a farm, I've seen in miles. There's a lot of nothing around here. It's nice, very peaceful, but also a bit lonely. I'm about 35k in, and it's the first two-way road I've got to, which is nice. I can actually see all the people instead of sheep. But it'd be nice to mix it up, like have a bit of that in the lanes, like where there's not many cars but also not many people, and then some of this, what I'm used to, following cement mixers. So now we've done a bit of, we'll call that city riding. Now we do a bit of cycle lane cycling. Now it looks like I'm into like a bit of a housing estate, if you'd call it that, or a village. I mean, look at that for a gaff. Imagine that being your back garden, obviously not these trees here. Oh my god, look at that. And then you got that as your back garden. Can you see? the massive gut hill. So I've just gone over halfway now. Hopefully you can hear me. I think when I get to 30k left, I'm going to give it a 20k effort. I'd like to see how much power I could get down, but I haven't got no power pedal, so that's not going to happen. And I feel like trying to get any certain speed round here is going to be basically impossible unless you put an engine on here, because the hills, oof, as you've already seen, are just going to make that not possible at all. So we'll have a look when we get to 20k. And I'm absolutely blowing talking to this. There's one more climb worth noting on here, but the whole route has been fairly okay, to be honest, apart from the first bit. And there's a 2k climb coming up in about 10k, so that'll be included in my effort, which will be fun. Ooh. I mean, I ain't complaining about any hills or rolling hills or whatever when I've got scenery like this. Sometimes when you're coming to like the back end of a ride, you're thinking, oh, I just can't wait for this to be finished now. I don't care what's around me or anything like that, but this is honestly, I think, one of the nicest places I've ever rode my bike. I only decided to do this like 2 or 3 days ago as well, so sometimes the spontaneous ideas work out. I could have been doing my usual 2 rides, one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday, in the same places, same roads. Maybe venture a little bit further out, but I don't think I'd have had views like this. So I feel like now we're going back into like where I first come from, obviously, because it's a loop. I'm going back into like the uncivilised part of the route, and I'm nearly at 30k, so when it ticks over I'll lap it, then just give it a little bit of a dig, see what I can do. There we go, 29.9 lap, 2 hours and 21 minutes already done. Oh, apologies if I've got spit everywhere, but I've now come to that climb, 1.96 kilometres left. To be honest, I've never even looked at this screen on my watch before. Gives you like how many kilometres there is. Apparently this is only the second one of the whole ride. It is average 5%. People are probably watching this thinking, I did that for breakfast, you idiot. Now, I've seen some words in my time, but how on God's earth do you say that? Bilch. I've just made myself look a knob. These rolling hills are killing me now. I've looked at the elevation graph and I don't think there's many more uphills. I want more of these, please. Oh yeah. Even these are just take all your momentum away from you. Yeah, just under 20k left now. Yeah, 10k left of my stupid effort, and then 10k nice and easy, and then a nice, hopefully there's no traffic, a nice 2-hour drive home. Oh God. Come on. I don't know how many of them I've got left in me. Oh, finally. There we go. I don't know if you can see that, but single digits. But thank God that hard effort's done. I didn't even need to do it. I just threw it in there because I've kind of combined my 2 sessions together today. It's a longer ride. The elevation is absolutely stupid. And I've decided to throw a bit of a threshold effort in there. Honestly, I wish every ride finished like this. My back's in bits, my neck's in bits, but this makes it all worthwhile. So, I've just finished up and I've got the notification I've done the fastest 40k. Done 82 kilometres in total, 3 hours and 27 minutes, which I'm quite happy with. And then my average speed was 23.7 kilometres an hour. Now, considering I weren't trying from the start, I mean, if I was trying from the start, I'd have probably blew up and got even slower. So, do you know what? I'm going to take that. I don't think I could have done any better, even if I tried from the start. Elevation, 1,106 metres. Not too shabby. The last 10k took me 20 minutes. And then the 20k before that took me 45. So the last 10k was the fastest. Thought it was, honestly, that last 10k of that. Every ride finished like that, I'd be on my bike every day. Would I come back again? Yes, probably, if I come with someone else. Because, I don't know, 40k of it was on like public roads. We always moan about like, you want to avoid them, because obviously the cars and that. But when you're on your own on country lanes for about 2.5 hours, I don't know, maybe I could take headphones sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Very successful ride, and I'm glad it's over, but I did enjoy it.